Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, GIA, and welcome. Welcome to your annual conference in Houston, Texas. My name is Janet Brown, and I'm president and CEO of Grantmakers in the Arts. And this is thank you. I have a one table fan club. Nice. This is a oddly shaped room. So I sort of feel like it's a good thing that, in case you haven't noticed, I've lost a little weight from a year ago. And it's a good thing because some people are looking at not the right angle, hate to say. So it's better than it would have been 12 months ago. That's all I can say to you. So I'm just so excited that you are all here. The staff has worked hard. The people in Houston have been fantastic. And this hotel, Zaza, what do you think so far? Whoa, yeah. Their staff has been incredible, and we're just really, really thrilled to be here. I want to, first of all, acknowledge the GIA Board of Directors and Roseanne Cleveland. I haven't seen Miss Cleveland. Where is she? Roseanne? Stand up, Roseanne. Chair of the GIA Board, Roseanne Cleveland. Fabulous, fabulous support for us. Thank you, Roseanne. I also want to acknowledge that we have a new staff person who has joined the GIA staff, and his name is Jim McDonald. He's currently on staff full-time. He will work with Tomer Peterson until Tomer is retired at the end of December. But we're very excited to have Jim join us. Jim was most recently with the Paul Allen Foundation, and prior to that, he's done lots of work in communities, public art director for the city of Seattle, lots of stuff. His background is visual arts, and he has a degree from the University Institute of Art in Chicago. I know that. Is that right? Close. Okay, close. Right town, right degree, but we know it. Anyway, we're really, really excited that Jim has come on board, and we're still in denial about Tomer leaving. So we just think that it will all just continue the way it is. So welcome to Jim. And then what I'd like to do is just ask all the current board members of GIA to stand so that you can see them, and then talk to them. That's right. And just remain standing. So now I'd like everybody who has ever served on the GIA board to stand. Thank you. It's getting to be a bigger and bigger group every year. That's just fantastic. And then I'd like to thank the host committee and the conference committee, and they are, and please stand up so that we can get recognition for everybody when I call your name. Jonathan Glass, President and CEO of the Houston Arts Alliance. Jonathan, where's Jonathan? Hopefully he's here. Yeah. David Lake, Program Officer with the Houston Endowment. Thank you, David. Lulani Arquette, who's from the GIA Board, who is President and CEO of the Native Arts and Cultures Foundation. Lulani. Robert Booker, who is Executive Director of the Arizona Arts Commission. And then, of course, the person we couldn't do these conferences without, but then we're going to have to, Tomer Peterson, Deputy Director and Director of Programs. So, thank you all. It's been a fantastic process. And we think we have a wonderful conference plan for you. Actually, every year I get more and more impressed by the quality of the sessions that are submitted by the membership, and it becomes more and more difficult for us to select those sessions. So I just hope that I challenge you to make it even more difficult next year than it was this year. All right, so back by popular demand, we'll begin our time together today with Idea Lab artists, both today and tomorrow. a combination of media and live performance and informants. These 2 days will be hosted by one of my favorite people, and surely one of America's most effective advocates for individual artists, Miss Ruby Lerner. Yo. Ruby Lerner is Executive Director and President of Creative Capital. So she'll be up here a little bit later. We are especially grateful to our members who are, and you saw them listed on the little big screens and little screens, who are able and willing to support the conference activities, artists and speakers. They are listed also in the inside of your program. This year, the Houston Endowment has provided the anchor gift which enabled us to come to Houston. And we are extremely grateful for that. They also were a host of one of our conversations on capitalization and community for Houston area funders, not this year, but last year. So it is my pleasure to acknowledge their leadership at this conference, the Houston Endowment, and to introduce to you the president of the Houston Endowment, Ann Stern.
Good morning. We are so glad that we have the chance to welcome you to Houston. We've been waiting for this for 2 years, I think, and eagerly anticipating this. So welcome to Houston. Welcome to our city on the bio, and it is bio, not bayou, when you're here. So I don't know what you were thinking about when you were heading towards Houston. A lot of people, when they think about Houston, they think about the energy business, they think about the medical center down the street, they think about the rodeo, but you all were probably thinking about the arts. And more, when people come to Houston, when they live in Houston, people are thinking about the arts. And so we are so excited that you're going to come see the arts here and be able to go back to your towns and cities across the country and share the news that Houston is a really strong and vibrant arts community. We have a great arts culture here, and you know, it ranges from the Museum of Fine Arts across the street to so many vibrant small arts organizations that celebrate the culture and diversity that is Houston. Houstonians love the arts, and we did a survey, sponsored a survey a couple of years ago, and even in football fanatical Texas, Houstonians said that if they had to give up sports or the arts, they would give up their sports. That is shocking, but I think it speaks volumes about where we are as a city today. That's true. So Houstonians, I know you're skeptical, that's true. So Houstonians love their arts, but like you, we know that simply loving the arts and simply attending the arts is not enough, that we have to support the arts. And we have to support the arts in new and different ways. So for Houston Endowment, that means a lot of different things. It means supporting the big institutions. They are leaders in so many ways in this community. It means supporting the small arts organizations that really build the richness of the cultural fabric of the city. But it also means building the capacity, strengthening the sector. And GIA has done such a good job of that. The capitalism and community session that I attended a year or so ago was a great example of that. But it also means coming up with new ideas and thinking of new ways that we can strengthen the sector. And that's really what this conference is all about. And it's the second part of the reason that we are so excited to be able to host you here and foster the great work that you're doing. So enjoy our city. Please enjoy our city. Take everything that you experience back and talk about it. And then we look forward to hearing all the wonderful ideas that are going to come out of this work that you do together. So thank you.
Hey, Tomer, congratulations on your retirement.
What? Tomer's retiring? End of an era!
Seriously, Tomer, you've been wonderful to work with. Always such a pleasure. And you're funny, too.
Best deputy ever!
so Tomer, after 14 years of helping all of these grant makers, what's next? Plan to start your own foundation?
Why would he want to do that?
Well, he'd have lots of time for his own artwork, especially with no conference to plan.
Maybe you can ask for a grant for that.
Yes, but there's no solicitation at the GIA conference.
Hey, Michelle, how many people do you think are actually at the Houston conference? 1, 2, 3.
Looks like a pretty good turnout.
What do you think, 15 or 20?
I'd say at least 25.
Are you counting Tomer and Janet?
Maybe, but why do you ask?
Tomer, here's the thing. Since Michelle and I co-chaired the 2010 conference in Chicago, you're supposed to shout, best conference ever.
Oh, please.
Anyway, since then, some things have changed. Michelle and I both have new jobs. I'm now the executive director of the Reva and David Logan Foundation. And in case you haven't heard, Michelle here is the fucking commissioner of...
Oh, Peter!
I'm just quoting your boss. Anyway, we need our history to support our elevated positions in Chicago society. And we need you to do your part. When they come to write the history of the Tomer Peterson era at GIA,
Will they?
they will. We need you to say that Chicago had the most conference attendees of any conference ever.
Which, of course, it did.
But it can't just be by 2 or 3, like, say, Houston had 25 and Chicago had 27.
Exactly.
We need Chicago to have like 4,000 or 5,000 attendees.
Well, that might be a bit much, Peter.
And we're willing to pay for the numbers, Tommy.
Put your money away, Peter, because, as I've said before, there is no solicitation at the GIA conference.
I'm not soliciting. Soliciting is when you ask for a grant or ask for money to support something you're doing.
And that's right, and you can't do that. In fact, I think Tomer is actually preparing a video that reinforces there is no solicitation at the GIA conference.
See, I'm offering Tomer a flat-out bribe. You get the difference, right, Tomer? Michelle, you got 5 or 10 to lend me for this?